Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the final word, and it seems ages ago, doesn't it? This game, thankfully.
Yeah.
It feels like
a lot's gone on.
A lot's happened. A lot's happened.
It has
since this particular FA Cup third round tie at Anfield.
Yeah.
Just having a moment. Just having a moment to just
it's mad, isn't it?
It's unfortunately that's us. We're out of the cup competitions. We're out of any kind of meaningful anything just, all competitions, and then now the task is to get 4 Premier League wins, get over that 40-point mark, and just see what happens for the rest of the season, which is for me that's the biggest disappointment out of the weekend, is not being in the cup. Forget about who we got beat by. Not being in the cup is my biggest disappointment.
Well, will we? Just being knocked out?
No, I don't think it is though, because for some people I think they'll be more annoyed that we got beat by Liverpool. But for me, the biggest disappointment is we are out of the cup competition, and you are right. That's the main thing we should be annoyed about. But unfortunately, because of who we played, that gets lost in the noise.
Well, it will do, because it's a local derby, isn't it? And it's about time we beat them. It's about time we won at Anfield. When they're going through it's 16 games since it's
the longest run, isn't it?
Yeah, things like that. You think at Anfield, and you just look and go, we're two rivals. No one rival should ever not win at the other one for that length of time. It's ridiculous. So that's a frustration. But you know what? I don't know. I think the way the season is, I just think I'm a little bit. I'll be honest with you. I was kind of over it 15 minutes after it happened, because that's how I just feel about this season at the minute. It's just all a bit. I don't know. It's probably not a good way to be, but that's the way it was.
Yeah, you almost just want to put it away and forget about it, and then. Do you know what? Right, I know, sort of getting on with things really quickly, but the overriding feeling I had after the game was I wanted another game really quickly. I was like, can we play tomorrow? Do you know what I mean? Like, it felt
to get it away.
It felt like ages till the next game. But I don't know whether that was to do with. Because I wanted to sort of get rid of the feeling. More that I was encouraged by how we played, and that was the main thing. I mean, we'll come on to that, but I mean, obviously, we made a couple of changes. John Joe came back in. Jags and Mason Holgate started at centre back. McCarthy was in there. Obviously, no Garner. Blassie played as well, and again, it was a positive look inside, which I thought showed during the game.
Yeah, much. Listen, the game in the league and like the cup game are like chalk and cheese.
Yeah,
where they are approached, and I can understand. I don't know about you, right? But you see things on social media. I mean, Twitter's made me want to throw my phone in a bin over the weekend. Some of the
don't do that.
The stuff, no, I won't. But some of the stuff that is said by many different fans of different teams and as everything else. But I just we have to remember where we were. I think when Sam Allardyce took over, there's this thing. Some people will never have him, and I've got no issue with that. That's up to them. Absolutely up to them. For me, I'm open-minded on him. I think he's done okay since he come in. He's got us in a hell of a lot of a healthier position than what we were. But I think people have judged him on how he wants to play for a bit. I think a little bit early, without giving him the chance. Now we're still playing a game where we have 20% of the ball in April. Then fair enough, people are welcome to have a go, and you go, oh yeah. But when he came in, the games were every 3 days. We were shipping goals in like it was nobody's business. Yeah. It was ridiculous. Couldn't go 10 minutes without conceding a goal. It felt like, and he quickly got to grips with that. And then, of course, we had the bump over Christmas, and it was the West Brom and Bournemouth was horrendous. I thought United was okay. I thought the second half they took over, but it was okay. But coming into this game, you know, he said in his press conference we were going to be a bit more attacking. We were. I thought we took the game to Liverpool early on. Okay, they probably still use the ball better than us because they're bright and they're quick, aren't they, in that final third? They play a lot of one-touch stuff.
They've got better players.
And they have, but the movement's good as well. The movement, that's a big thing. The movement is excellent from them. And he's worked at that. Whether that be the players, whether it be the coach, whether it's a mixture of both. They're very good in the final thirds in them areas. But you know what? I thought we took the game to them. Balassi was running at them. You know, again, for us, our final pass let us down. I felt in the first half.
I think what was better was we defended higher up the pitch, which we thought we would.
Yeah.
With I thought McCarthy was excellent. I thought he set the tone. You know, we spoke a lot about McCarthy, and there's our biggest frustration with James McCarthy is that he's got himself injured or put himself at risk of injury for I'm not going to say no reason because that would be disrespectful to Irish fans, but he's put himself in situations where there was a likelihood he would be re-injured when he was never truly fit. We've seen that when he got injured in the warm-up when he was nowhere near fit, and obviously, you know, Ron Koeman had a big problem with that, and rightly so. Rightly so. You know, that was an issue. But the biggest issue is when that lad is fit and only, he's very, very good at what he does. Yeah. Very, very good at what he does. Because not only is he really really good at you know, pushing back and tracking players and all you know, and all those kind of things. But he does it in a way that he's not someone who's, you know, you watch him tackle. He's a good tackler of the ball. He's not someone who gives fouls away all the time in dangerous areas. He's bright and intelligent, and he's got loads of running in him. And this is a player. If you go back, you know, we go back to, you know, the end of Martinez's first season, we were worried we'd be losing him, and going into his second season when he got the injury. When sort of the fallout began with him and Martinez, where he should never have played against Wolfsburg and did and got injured and all, you know, all these things. But you forget, because of all that stuff that clouds it, you forget that underneath there's a really good player there. It's a little bit like the, dare I say, the Morales thing. In your head you forget how good a player he used to be because of all the other things that have clouded it since.
Well, his attitude and the fact he was shite.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about him on the Tuesday topic, but underneath, McCarthy's a really good player, and when he presses and when he sets the tone, and I think, you know, other players go with him. And
I don't think we've got anyone like that in our team. I think Garner is similar to that, but I don't think he does that as well. I think Garner does other things better. I think Garner probably uses the ball better than James McCarthy as well. But I think the way he goes after players, McCarthy, I think
the difference between the two of them is Garner's really good at getting to players, closing them down and nicking the ball, but McCarthy physically takes the ball off them, and that as a fan is better because you're up and you're at it, and you know, you think about last season, the Arsenal game, he set the tone. The derby when they eventually beat us because he went off injured, he was fantastic in that as well.
First half in that derby,
and just those little things, just those little cameos, that's where you remember. And when he came on against Man United, he was brilliant and got us going for 10 minutes. And I thought first half, without being sort of he wasn't running around like a lunatic, snapping and throwing tackles in. He was a bit more reserved, but just because of the way he pressed, he allowed us a little bit more time up the pitch, and it got everybody up the pitch. And for those first, you know, for that first half, we got in some decent areas, especially down the right with Balassi. And when Balassi was just whipping the ball in, instead of trying to do, you know, 18 Peter Begley step overs and drag backs and all the rest of it. Because the thing that annoys me about Balassi is he's trying to do all the step overs thinking, I don't want to sort of use my pace, and it's all that kind of thing that'll come back to him last, I think. Whereas the pace, if it's there, it's there. you're going to have to use it. But he didn't have to use his pace. He sort of, when he got squared up against the Robertson at left back, when he was putting the crosses in early, he couldn't stop him.
No.
He couldn't stop him because physically he can't get near him. And every time he threw a ball in the box, he put a couple of absolute brilliant balls in. Okay. And if you'd had a proper target man in there, they would have got a little bit more joy. So first half was really encouraged. It was good without being excessive.
Yeah.
And I thought, as I say, I thought it was very even, and there was a lot more creativity and actual belief that we could go and win.
Yeah, it felt different. I don't know why. I don't know whether it was because it was a cup game. I don't know whether it was because they didn't have Salah. I don't know. I don't know whether it was because our fans were pushing them back, or I don't know whether it was because just in general there's a bit more confidence in the side now. But we had a good go in that first half, which is what you should do. It looked, I don't know about you, but to me it felt like there was no fear there this time, which I've felt, I don't know whether it's me or from the team, and we were more attacking.
And yeah, I wanted to bring this up. Do you think now that as a club we need to start embracing Merseyside derbies? Listen, we've been guilty of it. We've sat in and go, oh well, as long as we don't get beat this score and that score, which is, it's understandable at times. But I felt Friday there was a feeling. The fans, 8,000 tickets, and I've seen fans scrambling trying to get tickets, thinking, you just sadists, you're mad. Fans desperate to get tickets, can't get tickets, 8,000, and people are desperate to get tickets. So there was a feeling amongst the fans, I want to be there because there's a feeling that maybe something will happen tonight. You don't want to, if you've been to Anfield,
been burnt too many times.
But if you have been burnt too many times, you want to be there if that one time it goes right. But that's what I'm saying. There's a feeling amongst the fans that maybe that could have been the night. And I think now there are some players in our team. I haven't played against them twice in a month. I think there's some players in our team now who look like they generally might be up for derbies. John Joe Kenny, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't fallen into that trap of doing stupid things because he's doing all the right things. Mason Holgate, I thought there was a nice balance for what he did. The Firmino thing was pushing him. How about, you're 6 foot off Firmino, your teeth probably weigh more than most men. How about you grow up here? I thought there was a right balance there between going over the top, and he just treaded that line that I like players to be in. I think he did more so than some other more experienced players. Baz, you look at someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, he embraces derbies, he looks well up for it. Sigurdsson doesn't mind them, Balassi doesn't mind them. You look when Luckman came on second half, he was up for it.
I think they were all up for it. I think Wayne Rooney was too up for it. And I think the thing with Wayne Rooney is he missed 3 games, and unfortunately with Wayne it takes him 3 or 4 games to get back to where he was. And I've seen people going, that's it now, don't ever play him again. You're just like,
but come back to the point, because we'll come back to Rooney.
Yeah.
Staying on the point though.
Yeah.
I do feel like the next time we play them, my attitude has always been in derbies, I've seen the worst. It can't get any worse. So why not let's start going, you know what? Actually, because let's go back to the way we were. In the 90s, we went to many derbies where you were given no chance, and we won them. And we won them because players were up for them. Average players got up for derbies and weren't afraid. It was almost like, hang on, we've got nothing to lose. You've got everything to lose. You're the super duper team who are missing that one player, the final piece of the jigsaw and all that. We've got nobody. We've got the Mark Wards and the Carl Tylers and Daniel Amakachis and whoever. Well, I'm just saying, going into the 94 game, we were bits of teams. They were always, but we rose up and we won. Cadamartri You know, all these games that we won, that we managed to win, that we managed to get a result in, that we were like, we'll, you know, we'd win them, and the next game we'd get beat by Sheffield United. But that was the point.
Yeah, it was Everton.
We could get up for those games, and I just think now, since Kale was the last one who truly embraced derbies, who loved playing in a derby.
Turned up
every time turned up, and his record proved it. Scored goals in every derby that he played, nearly enough. Whereas, unfortunately, they've got 3 or 4. Gerrard loved them, and you know there was 3.
I loved them, didn't
it was they always have players in their team that really embraced them. Now, if we had a couple, 3 or 4, it only takes 3 or 4. You have 3 or 4, it sets the tone. And I'm just hoping now that, because they always say, it doesn't matter, form goes out the window. Form only goes out the window if players are prepared to stand up and have a go in a derby. And as I say, tread that line. Because if you go over it, you end up having a game like we've seen from Tom Davies in the last couple of derbies, where they just get lost amongst the melee of it. And I just think if we can, as fans, if we can start sort of stop worrying about them in terms of like it's the be all and end all, and go, you know what? Because the general consensus, you look around Twitter and you look around things and you see the general consensus. There's been like fans have come out going, we got beat, but you know what? Loads were like, that was the best game I've been to for ages. No, I had a great. The goal was amazing, and people say they took kids and it was the best game they've been to. And I know we lost, but buzzing off the Reds for all the obvious reasons and all that. And I just think that if we can get that feeling back amongst the fans, that you know what, fuck these, we're Everton, and if we win, brilliant. If we lose, fine, but let's lose the right way. I know doesn't sound right, but I know one thing. You look at the derby last season at Anfield, in a way, we sort of just fell to bits and we really never did anything. Whereas you look at this derby and you think, we were unlucky. We were unlucky, and quality obviously showed, but we were unlucky. At least we had something about us.
I don't think there was much between the two teams at all. I really don't. I thought that the gulf looked wider in the league game, but we stuck to a game plan and were very good at that game plan. Given, I think they had 3 shots on target that day. They had 4 shots on target the other night. So across the 2 games, for everyone that wants to batter Sam Allardyce, they've had 7 shots in 2 games, effectively at our goal. Do you know what I mean? They done it the other night. They were hitting 40-yarders into the back row stands and claiming it as a stat. You know, so I thought we were just. There was that fear factor. For me, it didn't feel. There was no fear there. It was like, well, if we get beat, we're out, and that's the way it is. We get on with it. And I think the players looked at it like that. And if we could take that into the next league game against them, it's a game of footy. It's when you're in the same city, you should be beating each other at times, regardless of the form, regardless of who's the better side. Because on that day, you should want to beat them. There should never be the inferiority complex that exists between us. Because it was never there in the 80s. It was there at first, but then we beat them and it was like, we're as good as these, you know. And then even when we weren't as good as them, people were like, well, we beat them the other year, we can beat them again. And then players went. Joe Royle took that side there, and I was there in '95. We went there, and after we beat them 2-0, we drew 0-0 with them in February, I think it was a night game. We went there and South Hall.
That was the one that got called off, wasn't it?
No, that was '96. They called off one, and Speed scored. The one I got, we drew 0-0. Nev was throwing the ball every time a cop threw it back. He was throwing, and the veins were bulging. And we just went there. They didn't have hardly anything. We nearly nicked it at the end, and it was a point. And then Joe had that thing of he didn't lose a derby, and then we went on and we stretched. It was 10 years they haven't beat us at Goodison for 5 years at Anfield. You know, imagine that now. And we just got into that mix. Yeah. Joe took us there a year later. We won 2-1 with Kinsell's, or the same year, but in October or whenever it was, November. And we just had that thing of we can get something here, you know. But they're a good side, but so what? It's a derby.
There was an attitude, wasn't
That's it. Whereas I just feel, even with Moyes, right, I was never overly confident we'd win. The only time I really was the last time I went, which is they beat us the year we finished 4th, because I went there thinking we will snot. We're flying. these aren't great, we'll beat them, it's our time, and they fucking beat us. And they were throwing piss on us and all that shit, so that was me swerving after that. But even with Moyes, you were confident of, you know, we'll get a draw, we can get a draw there. But then under Martinez, I think because he tried to be expansive, they just cut through us, and then 2-4-0's it. And then obviously last year, like you say, we were in the game for little periods, but we equalised, and then a minute later we were getting beat, and then we had chances at 2-1, and then it went 3-1, then it was easy. Where this time, I just thought everything came together more. They were still a better side, but there wasn't a gulf. They were the better side marginally because they were pressing, as you would expect from the home team. And I just hope we take that kind of mentality and attacking side in. And you know what? Sam Allardyce, it comes from the manager, I think. And I think he's looked, the other week he went there and he went, this is how we'll get a result. And we got a result, and the players will have gone, alright, yeah, alright, well, you know what you're doing. Right, this time, right, we're going to have to get at them now. And he went there with a different mentality. He talked about the psychologist coming in. And we'll need all of that stuff to erase.
Fans need it.
Well, yeah, he needs to get 40,000 psychologists for us, but we'll get that from the players. When we see the players having no fear and demonstrating it, we won on Friday. I think our fans, you know, these chat a load of whammo, they were quiet and all that. They weren't quiet at all. Our fans went there and obviously carried the team forward, and it's worth it when you see the goal, the celebration.
But it is though, isn't it? It is the players. If you see the players and the players aren't nervous, it doesn't make you feel as nervous. If you look at a player and think these are up for it or these can cope, I mean, you know, I picked John Joe Kenny out particularly because I think he's a young lad, local lad. It means the world to him. But he's played in both derbies with such a confidence, such not an arrogance, a confidence that you look at him and go, you know, if he can do it, you know how many times we look at the Barkley never had a good derby game. You look at it happens to a lot of people. But he's looked really good, and you see that with others, as I mentioned, Holgate. You see it with him. You see with Don, whether you think he's had a good game or not. He doesn't carry he doesn't look worried, or he looks like he can give as good as he gets. I think that's a big thing. So I think we need to just you know, go into the next one thinking next one's a home game. You know. Why not? That it might just be our time. Hopefully,
I think we will win the home game. I do. I think the crowd. I think the players, as long as, like you've just said, as long as the players are up for it, the crowd will carry us through the extra 5. Then I'm confident that Sam Allardyce will have us organised enough to not get picked off, and then it's up to us. Then have we got the quality to beat them? But
change the centre backs again. Obviously, Jags and Holgate played. I mean,
Jagielka was magnificent,
which is weird because he hasn't been good in the last few games. I don't think I don't know whether that's. Do you think maybe the common denominator is Mason Holgate? Do you think the fact that when Williams has looked better with him, you know, Jags has played with Keane and looked a bit rocky? Do you think Holgate might be the common denominator because he's fast? So maybe they feel bit more confident next to him, or because he's got good ball distribution. Loves a Cruyff turn, by the way, and he does it in much better than John Stones ever did.
Not on our 6 yard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, does it in the right place.
Although he did dribble out the box for one of the.
But do you think that might be the common denominator, or do you think he just up for it?
I wouldn't put it all down to Mason Holgate, because I think he gave a proper captain's performance, Jagielka, in just playing the game. Do you know what I mean? Even having to go to the referee and stuff. I just thought he got his body where he needed to. He was, you know, when you think back to the game, Liverpool didn't have hard. I can't remember them having hardly any chances. Just off the top of my head, Robertson, keeper makes a good save from. They had one that fizzed across and Jags headed it away from the goal. Other than that, they never really.
Milner had one first half when he dragged it wide.
Yeah, but that was it wasn't a prop. It was like a half chance. Other than that, they had very little, and that was down to us defending properly. And Jagielka was at the heart of it. What I will say about Holgate is, he will give you that insurance because he has got the pace. He's a good defender. I mean, there was an article online which was utter nonsense I mean, David Prentice give Holgate 5 out of 10. Dave, get a grip of yourself, lad. Embarrassing for me, embarrassing. Because he was excellent. Okay, the push on Firmino, yeah, he shouldn't have done it.
I've got no problem with the push.
I'm just saying, you know, whatever, and everything else that went on, leave that where it is. But in terms of the game and how he responded after it was excellent, because he could have quite easily, say that was Wayne Rooney who would have been abused in some way, incensed enough. The next tackle, he'd have just gone through the back of him. He'd have let him know. He'd have done him, and it'd have been, there's your first card, blah blah blah. And he didn't. Holgate, he just played his game, and he's that good on the ball. When you're quick and good on the ball, it takes the pressure. They just bought someone for 75 million because he can do that. Now I'm not saying Holgate is good as whatever, but I'm just saying they've paid that money because there's a defender who can bring the ball out, you know, and Mason Holgate can do that for us. So it'd be interesting to see Michael Keane next to Mason Holgate, to see then if Keane turns into a worldie, we can then say it's all down to Holgate. But you know what, I thought he was excellent, and you're spot on with John Joe Kenny. I mean, this is one of us. This is a fan playing on that pitch. Yeah, he's very good, but he's getting better and better and better. His decision making is exceptional, really, from such a young lad. I haven't seen anybody skin him really now for a while since he got his confidence up on that level up. He's looked he's the player that we saw operating at the 23 level, which you looked on and what a player he is, by the way, you know, in terms of getting skinned. Yeah, he's not as good as Seamus going forward, but there's not that many that are. I think his crossing ability is fantastic. It's much better than Seamus.
Seamus wasn't as good as him at his age he's at now.
No, and I still don't think Seamus is defensively as good as John Joe. I think the other way, Seamus leaves because Seamus is direct. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And the thing with Seamus Coleman is he's got the heart the size of a fucking lion, hasn't he? And he's a big player to come back on our side. So yeah, you're absolutely spot on. Those two for such, you know, both 20 is fantastic for us, and it did help. I thought Martina had a good game. To be fair, on the left hand side, yeah, we know, and I have been critical. He can't cross the halfway line, but from a defensive point of view, I thought he had a very good game, and you know that set us up really.
What about the penalty?
Okay, the penalty was very soft, right? But if you put your hands on somebody,
we live.
It's a penalty.
We live in a new world. We live in a world where any contact. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? And it's the old old adage. Remember when you used to say, anywhere else on the pitch that's a foul? It is now. It is now. Anywhere else is a penalty. And the minute it was given, I looked at it and went, it's a penalty. How can you not say it's a penalty? Lallana goes down like a little shitbag that he is, but he's entitled to go down. He's not. No one's entitled to go down. But the point being is,
my only real gripe with the whole thing is that Bobby Madley allowed the play to go on and Mane to drag the shot wide. He didn't blow his whistle until he did the shot wide.
Yeah.
Now you can't go, will he play the advantage, because they don't do that in penalties.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because you've seen teams score and the ref brought it back to give the pen, and that's me only thing.
Yeah.
Because when he hit it wide, I was like, oh my god, thank God he's put that wide, and the next minute he got a penalty.
Like a Pez pen, wasn't it?
It was.
No, but at the end of the day, what needs to happen is, to use a film terminology, there needs to be a reboot on these penalties, and that's all of them, because they moaned long enough about fucking Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I haven't heard any of them moan about Dominic Calvert-Lewin since then. Okay. Dominic Calvert-Lewin was a penalty, and that was a penalty, and there was some irony in the fact that it was, you know, same end and everything, but
they were always going to get a soft one.
Oh, of course they were.
They've moaned.
But pens, we don't have to look at Arsenal last few weeks. Look at the pens they've had given against them. Look, you know, look at the Hazard.
But then again, he got one at Burnley. That never was.
No, I know.
Won them the game.
It all evens itself out.
That's bullshit.
Over years and years and years.
Yeah, over about 100 years.
But the point being is, there just needs to be a complete rethink on the pens, because it's, and this, what the other thing that made me laugh is, and it's not just for this incident, but what on earth is this situation with the VAR? being used for some games. Well, one game in the round.
Tonight,
yeah, Brighton versus Palace. And then it's been brought in for one of the League Cup semi-finals. What the fuck's that all about? Yes. Now I know they're saying, well, only some teams, only Premier League clubs are capable of using it. So what?
Liverpool and Everton.
So why? Right, okay. Let's just say for I know it's in the trial stage, so they won't be at every game, right? But why isn't it like the Super League then, the Rugby Super League? They only have the big screens at the games that are on telly. So why didn't he say at least all the games that are on telly, we will have the VAR? Because that's
what do you think would have happened? No pen. I mean, everyone in the studio, even the most biased one in there, said it wasn't a penalty.
I don't know, but maybe other situations might have changed. So, do you know what I mean?
I just mean in general.
I just mean in general that
I just think he gave the referee the opportunity to give the penalty. That was and
Bobby Madden,
and we all.
It's
terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. But I just. They were always going to get a soft penalty in this one because they just cried for weeks over it, and he gave them the opportunity for it. It was for me. It was worse than the Ashes of Palace. It was much worse. But Lallana won't face any action because he plays for Liverpool.
But it's the fact. I think what makes it worse is he dropped to his knees to show the ref that he'd been fouled. It wasn't like
he threw himself.
Nias gets bumped. Dominic Calvert-Lewin gets pushed, but he drops to his knees. Now I'm not saying it's not a penalty. I'm just saying he exaggerates the whole thing. But they get the penalty score. We go in 1-0 down at half time. We come out. I thought we looked a little bit rocky beginning the second half.
15 minutes they took over.
They'd obviously been told go out and kill this game off now. They had a few little moments. The Robinson shot, which he got in far too easy. Balassi let him. And at that point, I thought Balassi was finished.
Balassi dived in.
Like
you think, what are you doing if he goes down? It's a penalty because he give him. But fair play to the lad. He stayed on his feet and tried to score, which was you'd have to say fair play to him. Near Lallana had gone down, but Pickford made a good save. But you're right, we were on that for those first 15 minutes in the second half. We were on the ropes.
Yeah. And we made a couple. He took Rooney off, and I can understand why he took Rooney. The challenge in the first half, it was like me on Pez. Let's be honest.
It was when you got a cop on. Yeah.
It's just throwing in a tackle, and then the second one, he's done what he's done versus United.
He was incensed with the first one, wasn't he? Because Calvert-Lewin had been shoved in the back, and it was a foul, and the referee's a foot away. I think the biggest problem we have, when I'm watching the games with referees, and I don't know whether you're the same, but one will be penalised there, and then the same incident takes place for us, and he just let it go. He was giving Firmino free kicks for pushing the back. Fair enough, if it's a pushing the back, it's a free kick. I'm not saying it, he shouldn't have given Liverpool a free kick, but the exact same incident happened here, and he lets play go on. And
you could say that about the penalty though, because in the first half, Balassi gets into the box.
Well, he gets
and Van Dijk grabs hold of his shirt first of all, and then puts an arm across him.
Which people could say is a penalty.
You could say it's exactly the same, and then it's the same with Dominic Calvert. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's found by Van Dijk, and then Rooney goes and takes it out on someone else's leg. And then second half, stupidly gets involved with Chan, and he gives like on.
Chan was just too strong for him. Wasn't he? It was just too big and strong for him.
I mean, he'll do very well for Juventus. Like on Monday night. Well, that's what his Bear told me anyway. He's
done, isn't it? It's
not saying anymore, but his Bear told me 3 months ago.
He's done. It's done and dusted. He's
not saying anymore. But like Monday night, Rooney then gives Allardyce. Allardyce is not arsed. He's not going to suffer fools.
No.
This is the other thing about him. He's took him off for his own benefit because he's thinking, you're going to be out the next game. If you get sent off now, I'm going to lose a player, and you're out the next game. I don't need to. Just because you're Wayne Rooney. And he basically grabbed hold of him as soon as he went off and just went, and Rooney was like, yeah. And when Rooney's either not fit or not playing well, because he'll do stupid things like that.
That's what I was trying to say before. Sorry, in the league game, he was instrumental in how we played in that league game. He was getting old. We were under the cost, but when he got it, he used the ball very well in the league. The cup game the other night, he just didn't have a good game. It wasn't in the game enough.
In the league game, he was in form. He was on blob. He was in the right position. He knew what was going on. This game's been out over Christmas. Yeah. He's like you said before. He suffers if he doesn't play all the time. He's physically. You just feel like if he drops a week, it
takes him 2 weeks.
Especially over Christmas. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks. Selection boxes and all that.
Selection
I love the selection box.
Allegedly.
No, I probably.
Well, he will do.
Yeah, because he's got kids. Yeah. But you know,
it was the right decision.
It was the right decision, and the thing was, you know, Lookman comes on, and it just adds that little bit of something,
dynamism,
bit of pace, bit of something they don't know about.
Lookman gave his match of the day performance, didn't he?
Well, he did. Yeah, oh, where did this kid come from? I mean, the first thing he did was try and nutmeg someone 25 yards from our goal and lose it.
Away,
and I'm thinking at that point, I looked at him and I looked Balassi blowing out of his arse, and I'm thinking,
Balassi got his third win.
Balassi did get his. He got another win, and it's come. And you know that goal has come from a corner. Balassi bringing it out brilliantly, using pace.
Brilliant that we counter-attacked off their corner and scored.
Using pace, using strength, gives one of their players a slap around the head as well, which the TV want to overanalyse. I don't know why.
Well, the referee done really well because Matic fouled Balassi first. Balassi just shoved them back. So the referee on that occasion done brilliantly. Goes to Lookman, he had.
But look, this is what we've been saying about Lookman, though. You know, the first movement, get away from the player and then attack the space, and he does it brilliantly. He doesn't need to hold the ball up and try and take him on and try and do 18 step overs. Use your pace. You're fast with the ball. This is what we've said so many times. Attacking the right areas. You don't need to. I've said a player. There's very, very few players in the world that can go from a stop start.
Yeah.
And beat someone, because all players are fast now.
Yeah.
But if you're running at a pace already, look at fucking Jagielka. By the time Jagielka's made that run, and what a run, by the way.
I love when he just leaves Van Dijk in his way. Van Dijk's blowing through his arse.
Jags is the kind of player that, and it's been said loads of times about how fast he is. But if you give him like if you give him like a 5-yard sprint, you'll probably go, well, he's not that fast. But if you give him a little bit of a, I mean, look at how many times like Chelsea in the League Cup when he gets back. Yeah. If you give him,
once he gets going, he's fast, isn't he?
Like a train, isn't he? And once he got going, and he just kept going.
It was unbelievable, the run, wasn't it? Because when he gets it,
but it's the composure.
But he does well.
The composure's absolutely, because I didn't even know.
Well, Lookman, this is the thing with Lookman. Skips away from Joe Gomez. He's probably still having nightmares about him now. And what I think Lookman does sometimes in them areas is carry on just running with the ball himself.
Yeah.
And then having a shot or whatever, and he doesn't. He gets it away and he lays it in straight away. It's gone off then. Do you know what I mean? It's passed off into the space, and that's as good as him nutmegging 3 people and putting it in the top corner. We've said this before, haven't we? He's done his work. He's cut inside. He's played his pass.
He's done his job.
And we're in, and that's it. The job's done.
We said this after Limassol. You know, the one that he had the chance. Okay, it was on the hat-trick. But if he rolls across goals, someone else has got to tap in, and he's done his job. And people go, oh, he was amazing, he scored 2, and he set the other one up, and everyone's and I don't know whether that's come from a little bit of coaching over the last few weeks, and just people just saying to him, don't need to nutmeg everyone, you don't need to take everyone on, you just attack the space, because if it'll open up for you with other players. And I said, Jags, lovely lay back, and luckily it fell to the right man, because if it had been Balassi, it would have been in the Anfield Road, literally in the Anfield Road. But it's fell to the probably one of the coolest men you can.
The one play you wanted to fall to.
Do you know what?
The finish.
You know what I love about the finish? It doesn't go anywhere. It just goes straight into the corner, and because of that, there's no.
And Karius makes it look brilliant as well. Because it's just you're not expecting that either. It's just passed into the corner.
And
scenes.
And the scenes, and they're the moments.
Limbs.
They're the moments you dream about, aren't they? But. Yeah, it was a great goal, and it's encouraging when you see goals like that.
I think the speed of it shows you that what can be achieved by playing the right pass and by doing things quickly. That we're up against one of the fastest teams in the league there. Okay, they're not Saladin and stuff, but we just cut them to bits off a corner. Out, pass, goal, 1-1. 4 passes or something, 1-1. You know, and knocked them to the knees, and then they were wobbling.
But it's about getting the right pass at the right moment.
But
what I'm saying is that's just using your head, isn't it?
That's what we're saying. in recent weeks, people have called Sam Allardyce or whatever, you know, this is because of him, we're only having one shot. It's the players. And when the players carry out what they should be doing, which is basic stuff, when to pass it correctly, it shows you that the quality.
Well, it's you got Blassie coming out with the ball, using his pace and his strength. You've got Lookman, who, the thing about Lookman there is, if Lookman does put his foot on, the whole thing's over.
Yeah, it breaks
the whole thing's over. But then you need someone like Jags to be breaking, because how many times you see other teams where you do see players just bursting to get into the box, just like there might be like a 1 in 10 chance, you know, that the ball's gonna actually fall for them, but they burst into the box, and Jags making that run, a centre back making that run, you know, it's brilliant. That's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but it's mad, isn't it? Because he's running past midfield player. It's just mad, but he's brilliant the way he done it, because he stretched the pitch, and that was what happened. It totally stretched them. Give them something to worry about, and Sigurdsson's popped it in.
And as you said, from that point as well, there was belief there then, wasn't there? And I think the only disappointing thing for us was that the likes of McCarthy, started showing less influence in the game because of obviously game time. Blassie a little bit less. And I thought one of the big things actually was Dominic Calvert-Lewin going off. I didn't think Niasse gave us the focal point. I just don't think I think the way we were playing, and whatever anyone thinks about Dom, I thought in this game he worked well, because whether he won it or not, it allowed some of our other players just to pick up the pieces, and he was always a threat. I thought we got loads of joy by just throwing a ball in the box. It was always an option. Dom didn't win too many of them, but it was always an option that could get us a corner or something. And I just thought when Niasse came on, I just thought the way he plays, like we said, Dom's a back to goal player, Niasse wants it in front of him, and I just thought, because we weren't playing in front of him, Niasse was starting to drop, looking for it then just a little bit, and that allowed them to just push up the pitch a little bit, and it meant moves were breaking down a little bit earlier, and it just didn't mean it gave them a lot, but it just took it out of us.
But I thought we had chances at 1-1, like half chances, where it didn't quite. We had a lovely little move, and it didn't quite break in the box with Lookman. Hit someone and went behind them, and the ball was dropping in between people. We had a free kick got curled into the far post, and we couldn't just get on the end. It ricocheted, and we had the other one where it got laid across. And
I think that was after they'd scored.
But there was one before,
where the keeper dropped it.
The keeper dropped it there playing. You're just looking for those little moments where it drops to you and you can put it in. But the encouragement was there, and they were worried. They were terrified, because they knew we were dangerous then. You know, but you're right. I mean, Blassie then was knackered again near the end. Obviously, James McCarthy was knackered, and his influence got less and less. We gave a stupid goal away, and it was a stupid goal.
Well, I think, as I said, we started to just get a bit.
Their corner come from our attack.
That's what I'm saying. We got frayed. We got a little bit frayed, and we started. You know, there was one way Jags he was halfway in our half, and he stretches it and goes out for a corner, and there's just little moments like that where you're thinking, if you've got quality to replace those players, then I mean, it's also what the game is, isn't it? You know, I think with 5 minutes to go there, and it's in the league match, Allardyce brings Ashley Williams on and parks the bus. But because it's a cup game.
But even so, I mean, to be honest, mate, they weren't stretching us.
No, but
at that stage, we give a corner away. We give a cheap corner away. If our goalkeeper stays at home, he's got a comfortable catch, and we're going into the last 5 minutes at 1-1. And who knows, we might have got the corner at that stage. You know, we had it's such a bad goal to give away, because you know that he'll be absolutely seething. I mean, they turned into West Brom, didn't they? They Pulised us, didn't they? 2 set pieces. But, you know, if he stays at home, he's got a little back pass of a header, because it wasn't a great header, it just hit him and dropped in the corner. But you were kind of, you knew something like that would happen at either end, you know, and unfortunately for us, Pickford makes it, and he hasn't made many mistakes, but unfortunately when a goalkeeper makes a mistake, invariably it costs you the goal.
I mean, they'd looked the threat off set pieces, hadn't they, all game, with the added height of...
Well, Van Dijk had the edit that he should have done better with straight to Pickford, didn't he?
And they had looked better, and I don't know whether Pickford had decided that he had to make a decision. He's young. We've seen him early on the season make these decisions where he's looked at defence and decided, I've got to do something. It just makes you laugh. You know, get these Muppets coming in. Oh, I thought he was amazing. Well, yeah, he has been amazing, but you know, it happens now and again. Of course, it happens. I mean,
thought Mane was amazing. Did he play the other night?
No, was he there? I thought he was still on the play. No, but that's the thing, isn't it? Players will make mistakes. It's just because if he stays on his line there, he probably just catches that, doesn't he?
Yeah,
you know,
comfortable
you don't
catch.
know. It's just sod's law, and it's hot. Even worse.
He was always going to score.
It's just horrible that it's come from that. Let's be honest. It's
frustrating because that's something we'll work on, isn't it? Trying to defend.
But But the thing is, both goals have come from mistakes.
Yeah, but in a mad way, that kind of encouraged me because it was like, well, the penalty's avoidable.
Yeah,
you know, they haven't cut us, played round us, and we couldn't get near them. And the corners are a stupid mistake to give the corner away. And a poor decision off the corner by the goalkeeper, and we've given someone a free head instead of blocking Van Dijk off, who's their most important player.
Well, I think he highlighted something on the TV about didn't he highlight something about Nias, about Nias doesn't do his job properly, or he's just come on the pitch. And
well, Calvert-Lewin was
that's what I'm saying.
Anything, had he?
That's what I'm saying. Calvert-Lewin had been marking, and he brings Nias on, and then he doesn't do that, and he comes off the post with it, and maybe if he'd been on the post. Every
player's got a responsibility. I mean, the manager's got to make changes at times, and if you're replacing someone, you've got to then go and do the job they would do.
I'm massively encouraged by, as you said earlier. I just think that the biggest thing for me was the lack of fear in the game, where we can take that into the next one, because at the end of the day, what is there to really be asked about? Listen, you walk out, all the fans who've been there, you know what you're walking into now. iPad Central, isn't it? You know,
it's Big Stand
FC. You know, they've become this corporate entity, and they can try and get under our skins as much as they want, but at the end of the day, if you don't let them get under your skin, then
I just think we need a win against them. I think a win against them picks everyone back up, settles, puts them back into place for a little bit. Do you know what I mean? And because it's been that long since we beat them, we just need a stuffy win against them. Even, you know, we love to batter them, but a stuffy win would do, because it just resets everything almost. It give us the belief that we can.
It's attitude, isn't it? As well?
I think everybody, we're all guilty of it. We're all looking at it going, God, we haven't beaten them for that many years, and it is a big thing. We can say it isn't, but it is a big thing. But
the main thing is that you actually turn up in these games. You know what I mean? If you turn up in these games,
but I think under Allardyce, the two derbies we have done.
That's what I'm saying. If you turn up in these games, I mean, you know, look, I mean, bad, like, you know, a couple of times at Goodison under Martinez, you know, he'd gone to Anfield and just opens the pitch up for everyone, and they've done us a couple of times out of 3. Koeman doesn't really have much better success, and, you know, again, last season plays a load of kids, which, you know, in the long run might help. So a couple of them.
It was a bizarre selection.
Oh, it was a bizarre selection. But I'm just encouraged, and I just look at it. Look at everyone, the players, the fans, and I just think, well, if we keep at that attitude, it will come. It will come, because we have this attitude. We have this attitude against other teams. You know, you take Man City. No one's ever scared of playing Man City,
no matter how good they are.
And no matter how good they are. And the ultimate result is, even if they beat us, you just go, huh?
One of them things.
One of those things. So maybe if we start having that attitude about them,
it should be about everyone, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal, the Emirates should be these. Really, Arsenal behave. Let's go and beat it. We do with Goodison. And sometimes they spank us like they did this season, but in general, if we had Arsenal a couple of weeks ago, Goodison, I'd be thinking, we'll win this, no problem. And that we need that about everyone. And the minute we start getting that, because tell you what, that's what them fuckers have. about everyone, no matter where they are or how they are, and that's why they generally beat the teams near the top, because they've got good players, but they've also don't have that complex. It's just like, let's get out, let's believe, let's do our jobs, and we'll see how it lies. And that's what we need to do. We need to hit those markers. Can we do our jobs properly? If we do, the crowd will be with us, and if the crowd's with us and we hit our markers, we've got an opportunity to win this game. Not we're up against this Barcelona, because you know, if we ever do get to those levels, how are we ever going to get destroyed if we're always thinking, well, these are...
But we're never going to get to those levels unless we have that belief.
Yeah, exactly.
That, you know, we're never going to have any kind of, as you said, you almost have to, it's almost mind over matter. You've got to have the attitude that you can beat these teams, and that's not an arrogance, not like the Martinez way of doing things, where it's like, oh, we'll go and play these off the pitch and have 60% of possession, get beat 4-0. I mean, just be clever, be smart, and have players who are up for it, and up for it in the right sense. You know, I say that's why we picked out John Joe Kenny so much, is because you look at him and think he is playing the game, he's not playing the occasion, and we've had too many in the past that have fallen into that stat. You know, as you say, you know, Ross Barkley's of the world, you know, Tom Davies has fell into the stat. There's been
Wayne Rooney fell into it the other night. It happens with players. You know, it does happen. You've got to try to get over that. And I was, like I said, that we've played 2 derbies at Anfield in a month under Sam Allardyce, and we've been all right in both of them. And this one, we were more attacking in it. And okay, they mightn't have had Salah, okay, and he might have made a big difference. He might not. He played in the draw, the 1-1, and he didn't make that much. He scored a cracker, and you know, fair enough. But he didn't do that much in the other one. So yeah, they've got good players, but you know, when we get them back to Goodison, you know, with the crowd and the belief, and hopefully the psychologist will have done some work, and we'll have Cenk Tosun banging goals in for fun.
What a time to announce his signing, by the way.
Well, I have me little moan about that, but apparently it was out of our
I just would have liked him to announce it at 11:59.
Well, I'd have probably, if given everything, I'd have probably either announced it at 10 o'clock when we just gone out and gone, we're out the cup, but look, we just said it. Or if it would have been up to Everton, I'm quite sure they'd have done it Saturday, when it was, you know, let's start afresh. Now, yeah, that was yesterday, but this is today. But because of Besiktas are on the stock market, financial regulations state that whenever the piece of paper is signed, it has to be reported. And it wasn't, to be honest, Sky had it before Everton did, before Everton released it, because obviously people are watching, so Everton had to put it out. But yeah, I was scratching my head as to why it came out during the match. But there you go, what can you do? But no, just very quickly before we finish, I was encouraged, and what I said before, and then we went off a little bit, was I'm a bit more encouraged about Sam Allardyce, the way he wants to play. Now, he's got it, now's his opportunity. Now it's 1 game a week in general. I know we've got West Brom at home in the midweek in a couple of weeks, but in general it's 1 game a week. And now he's got to get his coaching. It's down to his coaches now. Can he get us more attacking? Can he get us playing higher up the pitch? Can he produce what he produced in the last half an hour on Anfield? Can we do that on a regular basis with better players? And if we can, then I've got no issue with him, you know, because listen, mythical foreign managers who are going to come in and have us playing like Pep, don't see, you know, Marco Silva, I still see people banging his drum. Well, the kids, you know, is he going to still be the Watford manager in 2 months? I don't know. You know, he might be sacked from Watford. Paulo Fonseca, yeah, he looks great, but do we know whether he can, you know, let's forget the manager. Let's it. Yeah, but even he, you know, what are we, 7 points behind him? I said it a while ago, it wouldn't surprise me if we finish above Burnley. So, who knows? But what I'm saying is, let's give Sam, he's our manager, let's see what happens. And if we can get us playing more expansive football under him and being tight, then so be it. But it's up, the challenge is with him now. There's not going to be the excuses of, oh, we're playing every couple of days. This is his window. He's bought the centre forward he wants. He's got players out he doesn't want. Let's see what he can do from now till the end of the season.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. I know it's a tough one to take, but were you heartened by the performance? And I hope we can take that attitude into the next Merseyside derby. Let us know your thoughts. And just being out the FA Cup, it's just horrible, isn't it? It's just horrible. I'm annoyed. It's because that's the thing about this game. It was a big game, and you're seeing all our fans there, 8,000. You just like, you want that all the time. You want those games all the time. You want to be in the latter stage.
To be honest, mate, I wanted Luton at home. Or AFC Wimbledon.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, there you have it.
More Forest away.
No. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget, if you haven't already, please subscribe, click the bell for alerts, and if you want more videos and podcasts, don't forget the podcasts. They're all over there on Patreon. We'll see you later.